Hello and welcome to a new episode of Cultural Magazine where we bring you the latest cultural events taking place around the nation. Let's go take a look at today's episode.
The Minister of Culture, Dr. Ines Abdedaim, inaugurated the activities of the 13th edition of the Traditional Crafts Festival organized by the Plastic Arts sector, headed by Dr. Khalid Surur in cooperation with a number of civil society associations. The festival activities is held at the Cinema of Civilization Center, attached to the Gezira Museum at the Opera House premises. The festival was held under the title Traditional Crafts in the Eyes of Islamic Cairo. It was dedicated to the name of the late artist Abdul Qadir Mukhtar for his constructive efforts in developing and preserving the field of traditional and heritage crafts. For her part, the minister said that traditional arts occupy an important place in Egyptian society as they are the characteristics of our identity. She pointed to the necessity of supporting the legacies of traditional arts and crafts as one of the important tools to preserve the ancient unique character of Egypt. She continued that Traditional Crafts Festival provides an opportunity for new generations to get acquainted with the creative elements, to promote traditional industries, and to create a stimulating environment for reviving the forms of artistic heritage legacies that characterize the nation. The festival is also to create new creative generations to achieve the principle of cultural justice. Furthermore, the Minister of Culture praised the efforts exerted to preserve cultural and artistic heritage, greeting all those who participated in organizing this forum. For his part, Dr. Khalid Surur thanked the Minister of Culture for her sponsorship of all the activities of preserving the heritage identity to raise the awareness of the coming generations about its value. Surur added that this artistic festival embodies the importance of preserving the heritage of traditional crafts to develop them in line with modern concepts and requirements. In the same context, the Minister of Culture attended folkloric art show presented by Tanura Troupe, as well as inspected the festival pavilions, which included various products of traditional crafts. She also witnessed a live fashion show of traditional costumes in the Civilization Cinema Hall, which included presenting 25 pieces of costumes representing many different heritage styles. It is noteworthy that this year's festival is held with the participation of many sectors of the Ministry of Culture, including the General Organization of Cultural Palaces, the Cultural Development Fund, including various civil society associations. The festival presents 235 pieces of art, including leatherwork, copperware, folk ornaments, silver, woodwork, shells, and glassware. Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdedaim witnessed the theatrical performance of The Wedding in Qubba in its new season produced by Youth Theatre Company on the Floating Theatre in El Manial in the presence of the head of Cultural Production Affairs sector, Director Khalid Galel, among various artistic figures. Abdidaim praised the show and the creative energies of the heroes and emphasized that the art of theater documents the history of societies. She explained that serious works presented by government theaters contribute to the formation of public awareness and enhancing people's knowledge.
البيت القديم.
أنا تعبت قوي عشان أوصل لك وأتكلم معاك.
الحب.
The show is about Nobel laureate Naguib Mahfouz's works and starring Abdelmenem Riyad along with many artists, and it is written and directed by Mohammed Yusuf al-Mansour.
لحظات.
لا يا ترى أنا مش أمك وما اتولدتش عشان أشيل عذابها.
دقائق.
حبيتي إمتى ده تحية؟
سنوات.
The Egyptian Symbols Cinema Club, set up by the National Center for Cinema, headed by scriptwriter Mohammed al-Basousi in cooperation with the Directorate of Youth and Sports, resumes its screenings. During the club's activities, the film The Uncle, Abdurrahman al-Abnoudi, directed by Awad Shukri, will be screened. The film deals with the biography of the national and literary character of al-Abnoudi and his career in collecting folk heritage.
هنا في قرية أبنود بمحافظة قنا ولد عبد الرحمن الأبنودي، أحد أساطير الشعر والفكر والثقافة والفن، في 11 من إبريل عام 1938. هنا في صعيد مصر وفي أجواء من البدائية التي تشي بسحر الأساطير وخشونة الواقع وعفوية الناس، ولد عبد الرحمن الأبنودي.
The film is produced by the National Cinema Center. Director of the center, Mohammed al-Basousi, said that the activities of the cinema clubs aim at spreading the culture of cinema within society with its diversity of cultures to create an educated and conscious generation of young people who can appreciate the fine art of cinema.
أول ما يجيك الموت افتح، أنت الكسبان، اوعى تحسبها حساب بلا واد بلا بيت. قالوا يا عبد الرحمن وعرفت تموت.
مش كل عايش حي ولا كل راحل مات، يحيى اللي ماله زي هامة تساوي هامات.
Egypt celebrated the opening of the 29th edition of the Arab Music Festival and Conference at the Fountain Open Air Theater, the Cairo Opera House. The opening was attended by tens of arts and culture figures, led by Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdidaim, who stressed carrying on the message of the founder Ratib al-Hifni in preserving the nation's heritage, even amid such exceptional challenges. The minister honored 12 personalities who have contributed to the enrichment of artistic life in Egypt and the Arab world, including members of Ammar al-Shari'i's band, Al-Asdiqa, Mona Abdel Ghani, Hanan, and Ala Abdel Khaliq, composer Yahya Mahdi, as well as many more. Amid the honoring of acclaimed composers Helmi Bakr, Mohammed Sultan, and Gamal Salama, the ensemble of conductor Salim Sahab accompanied many singers in some of the trio's memorized works. Continuing until November 10th, the event that survived the country's lockdown due to the global pandemic between March and July. It was held in its scheduled annual season amid restricted safety measures, is hosting. This year, 93 musicians are participating in the festival, including 82 singers from 5 countries: Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Tunisia. The event, managed by Jehan Mursi, launched its conferences on the theme of the future of Arab music at the Cairo Opera House, headed by Dr. Magdi Sabir. The Minister of Culture said that the Arab Music Festival and Conference is one of the bright artistic events that call for pride and highlight Egypt's civilizational leadership.
اللي مكتوب فوق جبيني شيء ضروري تشوف عيني اللي مكتوب فوق جبيني شيء ضروري تشوف عيني فوق جبيني إني بحبك وتخونيني ده انتي خنتي قلبي ده انتي خنتي قلبي بس خنتي قبل قلبي خنتي قلبك
Mixture of classic and modern compositions were presented on the second night of the 29th Arab Music Festival. This performance included the magic of creativity between the voice of Ali Al-Haggar and the tones of Basim Darwish and his troupe, the Cairo Steps, on the Fountain Open Air Theater.
Egyptian-Romanian relations have long been important and significant for both countries. And there's a lot between us, not just economic or political relations, but there's cultural exchange, education.
Egypt is a very important country for Romania. This is the reason because I am here with this great delegation. We try to reload these commercial relations. We're coming with my colleagues on the defense factory field, and with another company, private company, from to product the electric motor here, to product furnitures, and also in all the you need Egyptian company.
This economic relationship also involves some sort of social and cultural exchanges as well. For instance, like military cadets going to Romania, or the other way around, for instance.
Yeah, it's a good reason, because we have a very good school in Romania, and the students can collaborate. So university can collaborate with university and change the students. It's a very good idea.
Romania has become a member of the EU. Egypt and Romania used to have very strong relations in all areas, economic, political, commercial, and this is quite an asset, you know, because it helps Romania and Egypt that, you know, when you are continuing these relations, you look at it from a perspective that, you know, the past is, you know, as a support, and the present is open for new opportunities. So I think one of the reasons that, you know, why Romania is sending such a big delegation, you know, including the private sector, is that, you know, too many factors, you know. One is that the COVID has revealed that, you know, quite an deficiency in the markets in Europe, because they realized that, you know, they have become in a way under pressure from other foreign companies, you know, who you know, have acquisition of big part of the capitals, so they are looking for new markets.
In terms of economic activity, obviously this is something that's important, but do you think that you know, educational or cultural exchanges also can boost the economic and political factor as well when it comes to Romanian-Egyptian relations?
Well, I think all areas are candidates, yes. All right, and, you know, to choose where you get engaged in cooperation, you have to see where is what we call comparative advantage. Right, Egypt has developed, surprisingly, you know, that was the best news, that we have engaged with restructuring the education system, and it's not now today. It's not only that you want to benefit from them. In fact, you have the possibilities to give a model, a new model, innovative model of reforming education system, right, and health system. By the way, I mean, that's another area which we have done. It has never taken place in any other part of the world. If we are talking, you know, health for all, Karama virus, you know, remoting, you know, eliminating the how do you call it? Not the COVID, but virus C, you know. So I mean, so we are we shouldn't look at ourselves as just on the receiving end. Yes. We are really reached a level that in some areas we are able to introduce to the world models of reforms, not only in economic reforms, but social, cultural, educational, let alone that, you know, I think President Sisi, I think he is the only leader in the Arab world and the Islamic world who dared to speak about, you know, reforming the religion discourse. These are things, you know, are you know, would give Egypt a self advantages. Yes. You know, we have them, and we should be proud of that. But we have to be pursuant and perseverant in order to continue our mission for the future.
Cultural Magazine's cameras are always following the latest events taking place around the nation. Let's go find out what the cameras have shot for us.
Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdidaim recently witnessed the opening ceremonies of the 13th edition of Sama International Festival for Singing and Spiritual Music, headed by artist Intisar Abdel Fattah. This edition of the festival comes exceptionally under the slogan, A Message of Peace to the World, sponsored by the Ministry of Culture and held in cooperation with the Ministries of Antiquities and Tourism and Dialogue Foundation for Arts and Cultures, as well as a number of national institutions. We celebrate the launching of Sama Festival with the precautionary measures taken. This festival is very important in the field of arts as it brings together various types of music and musicians. Besides, the plastic arts exhibitions are also blooming in the festival. It is noteworthy that in Egypt we are persistent with cultural events amid the pandemic challenges. This is an exceptional edition of the Sama International Spiritual Music Festival, and I actually call it the Determination and Challenging Edition because it aims to spread the culture of peace. I thank the Minister of Culture for holding this festival in these circumstances, though it is considered an achievement for the ministry. So we adopted the works of some foreign delegations in Egypt as well as church choirs. As we planned for the festival, we knew it would not be affected with these circumstances because it derives its uniqueness from the depth of the Egyptian civilization. We have an honorary guest from Lebanon, and renowned singer Fairuz has been honored in the festival along with the Sheikh of Spiritual Music, El Fayumi. We also hold performances at the Cairo Citadel. I'm happy to see a great number of fans, which signify the festival spreads the culture of peace.
This brings us to the end of this episode of Cultural Magazine. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more on Nile TV.